This is Abe Freetanzer from Awards Watch, and I'm thrilled to be speaking with Tom Stuart about his short, Good Boy. How are you, Tom?
I'm very well, thank you. Very, very pleased to be here.
What do you think people should know about this film before they go into it?
Well, I suppose it's a tricky balance as a filmmaker because there's some nice reveals that happen throughout the film. So in a way, I don't want to give anything away. Um, but I'd say that it's very funny, it's very accessible, and there's a bit of an emotional punch in there at some point. But I'd say that it's a very personal film. Um, that I've made in response to losing my mum during the pandemic. So it's a love letter to her, and she was a very funny, anarchic, warm human being, and I hope that the tone of the film reflects that.
I think it does. I also read that the film is endorsed by a grief charity. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, that's right. There's an amazing charity here in Britain called Let's Talk About Loss, and they look after bereaved teenagers up and down the country. And so because ultimately one of the big themes of the film is grief. And so it felt right to partner with a grief charity. And once the film has done what it needs to do out in the festival, on the festival circuit and out in the world, it's going to be given to them. They're going to be able to use it as a tool to sort of encourage their members to talk about and reflect upon their own bereavements and loss as well, which is, for me as a filmmaker, that's everything I've ever wanted to do. I feel like if I can share some of my own story and make people reflect on theirs and make them feel less alone in the world, then whilst entertaining them, then I think I've done what I wanted to do.
I really like that. I know I've also seen Ben Whishaw just even in like the last year and a half, women talking passages, and this is going to hurt, like three radically different roles, and then this is something altogether different. What were you familiar with him from, and what made you think he was the right person for this role?
Well, actually, we knew each other a long time ago. So I'm an actor as well, and we were at different drama schools, but we left around the same time, and so we were friends a long time ago, and I've always been a massive fan of his, and I know that socially he's very, very funny, and I think that it's not often that he gets to showcase those sort of funny bones that he has. I feel like the emotional side of things we know he's like one of the greatest actors of my generation at that, but I think he doesn't often get to show how funny he is, and so that this just felt like a perfect part. He felt like a perfect actor for the part because he can navigate both those things, the funnier elements and the sort of more sort of sad, heartbreaking moments.
As an actor, did you consider a part for yourself in this film?
No, I mean, my sister already thinks I'm a megalomaniac. I've started, and this is my directorial debut. And I just think I would. I'm not the kind of actor that can watch themselves back without losing their mind for a bit. And so no, I just felt really excited to work with the actors, but with me behind the camera. Yeah, it was just really exciting to do that, and it feels like even though it's my directorial debut, it felt like a sidestep in my career rather than a complete change, because it's just I know the world, and I know I guess I've been around actors a lot, and I know a bit more about how to talk to them and what they respond to and what I responded to as an actor, which I think really helps as a director.
Did anything surprise you about directing?
Did anything surprise me? Oh God, so much. I mean, I just learned so much. But I think genuinely, I just loved every second of it. In a way, that surprised me, because I thought I'd find it more stressful than I did. And don't get me wrong, there were loads of stressful moments, but even in the stressful moments, I just loved it. I loved being with this crew and this cast telling this story. I think maybe the thing that sort of surprised me was how many questions a director has to answer every day. I sort of would turn around and there'd be like a long line of people that had like a question each or two questions each, and I'd be like, it's quite hectic, but I loved it. I just loved it. Something about that really suited me somehow.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak about this film, and good luck at the Oscars and in the future.
Oh, listen, thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure. Thank you.